What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Friday morning edition of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. We are here on BettingPros.com. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt. Each and every morning, we are here on BettingPros.com. We're on YouTube and anywhere and everywhere you get your podcasts. You can find us here for the Daily Juice. We are being brought to you by BetMGM with that $20 offer, $100 off any event. Using that promo code JUICE100 when you sign up for a new account with BetMGM. BetMGM.com on the application. Promo code JUICE100 for that offer with BetMGM. Okay, so nothing yesterday due to the Red Sox and the Yankees with COVID. And the Yankees could have as many as 6 players out with COVID today. I've learned my lesson with this. Before you immediately jump to the Red Sox and say, oh, bet the Red Sox, the Yankees are done. I'm staying away from that game for a reason, because I think we've been burned enough times expecting a team to be shorthanded due to COVID and then they win. So I'm just going to watch the Red Sox and the Yankees today. I'm not going to get involved with the Red Sox and the Yankees. However, I do have a PGA Tour Open Championship play that I gave you last night on the Discord channel. I have 2 bets for you on baseball today, which is Rut-Row. You know how I am with baseball. Can we get to Saturday, please, and get to the UFC? A couple of you guys on the YouTube channel were saying, like, Matt, bet UFC. I know I am better at UFC betting, and I will have some plays on the UFC card coming up on Saturday night with the return of Miesha Tate and Jeremy Stevens and whatnot at the Apex. So, yeah, hold your horses. That's for Saturday. And we have an NBA game. Remember, Game 5 is Saturday, not today, on a Friday. But we got 2 baseball bets, a golf bet, and the parlay to give you guys here today. Now, just real quick, I want to jump into, an update first. You guys have been asking, where is the Sharps report on Apple? I don't know. I told you. Apple is having some real problems. Spotify is up. So if you don't use Spotify, I do apologize, but maybe you can just listen to the first episode with Todd Furman and I on Spotify, and then it's free, right? So maybe you're not comfortable using Spotify, but it's not like you got to pay for Spotify to listen to that podcast. It's free. It's on Stitcher. I know that. I believe it's on other platforms as well, but I have not seen it as of tape time here tonight on a Thursday night. I have not seen it, and that's frustrating. It's frustrating to me. It's frustrating to everybody with BettingPros, and so we hope that that gets rectified and Apple approves it and puts everything up and we're good to go. But that's why I've been doing a lot of things with Spotify. I'm very angry at Apple, and I'm very frustrated with Apple because I used to use it all the time, because Apple had a cool thing where they would rank where the podcast was, like what your podcast was doing. And we were always in the top 150. Sometimes we were in the top 50 for podcasts. During football season, the Daily Juice was in the top 50 of all of Apple for podcasts. But now, I mean, it's the summertime, so everyone's kind of off and doing their own thing. But the rankings, everything else is just a mess. Everything is a mess with Apple. So I'm using Spotify now. I post to Spotify. I push you guys to Spotify more just because I can rely on it. It's going to be there. So the Sharps report is there on Spotify. And the Daily Juice, obviously, is on Spotify as well. It's on audio, it's on Audible, it's on Stitcher, it's on every podcast platform. You can find the Daily Juice. Hopefully the same thing for the Sharps report every single Wednesday coming up, but that's the update on the Sharps report. I am going to attempt in the next couple of days, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment, and I'm going to bet more plus money bets than I have. If you've noticed in the last month and a half, as things started to kind of go spiraling out of control, I started to bet a lot more I started laying juice a lot. And I was doing some research yesterday, going through some of my wagers, trying to learn from what mistakes I have made, and tried to say, okay, what happened in June? Where did things go wrong? And a lot of it, not all of it, I mean, it was bad picks. We were losing, but it was also the fact that I was betting a lot of favorites. I was laying a lot of juice, like minus 140, minus 50, 160, a lot. And when you win, the problem is I got caught up in the record a lot of times too, because the record was important to me, and where we were with, once we started losing, we're losing not just the record, which was really good, but also the number of units we were up. And so I started to scramble a little bit and just like, okay, let's just get a layup here, right? Let's do a bet of 150 and get in. Well, the problem is the record doesn't really matter. What matters is winning wagers and winning money. So plus money bets, if I go 1-3, but the one win I hit is plus money, like a plus 250, well, that covers the day. So I've been more I got too caught up in that overall what the record was, and I should have been paying more attention to the units. And that's me. That's on me. This is a learning experience. I've never wagered for 365 days in a row, and now here we are, 10 days into year 2, so it's 375 days. I've never done this, so I'm learning. I've always bet a lot, but I've never bet every single day. So I'm learning. I'm trying to figure these things out. I'm trying to look and see where I'm making mistakes. So you are going to see me make more plus money wagers than I have in the month of for the rest of July. I'm going to attempt to do more. I'm going to hunt for those plus money that I'm going to get into. And in baseball, I'm going to bet a lot of run lines. And that's just kind of where I am. There's a lot of plus money available every night. A lot of these teams are winning on the run line at a really high clip, and they're really good teams who are coming through. And the first game out of the All-Star break is always a little bit dicey, so I'm a little concerned about tonight. But I'm just going to start that philosophy right now with baseball and try to find my way through these things. And hopefully it's a winning philosophy, and hopefully it works out. So I'm just going to try some things. I'm going to experiment a little bit. You can fade or follow these picks. This is all free content. You can do what you want with it. Fade it, great. Follow it, awesome. I'm not telling you what you have to bet, and I'm not charging you a nickel for any of this information. So just a heads up as to what's going to come down the pike. Okay, I gave you a golf bet last night on the Discord channel. This is why it's really important to be on the Discord channel, because the Open Championship, the guys have already teed off. If you're listening to this in the morning on Friday, Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas are long gone. This bet is long gone, okay? But as I explained in the Discord channel, Justin Thomas is tied for 8th in second-round scoring this year on the PGA Tour. Rory McIlroy is tied for 99th. Justin Thomas, the cut line is it's +1, basically. It could be +2, but he shot a 2 over par, but he hit 60%, more than 60% of the fairways in the first round. He putted like crap. Now, the greens are really slow, but normally Justin Thomas putts pretty well on slow greens because he just kind of hammers it. Same thing with Jordan Spieth. They just hammer the ball into the back of the cup. So I expect a really good round for Justin Thomas. On the other side, Rory McIlroy shot an even par with 4 pars and 4 bogeys. He was all over the place, a roller coaster ride. And there's no guarantee that Rory McIlroy is going to make the cut. He could have a really rough round, too. He's had some rough rounds recently where things just haven't looked right. Scottish Open didn't really look right. I'm taking Justin Thomas even money. I know DraftKings had it at -110. I got it here in Vegas at the Westgate for even money. Justin Thomas, second round matchup up against Rory McIlroy, even money. So I'm going to wake up this morning in this round. This bet might actually be done by the time I wake up at 7 a.m. Pacific time. This bet might be already cashed for me. So I'm hoping to wake up to a winner with Justin Thomas over Rory McIlroy, half a unit for the second round. These two sports, golf and baseball, I have been awful. Okay, I have not been good at all. So if you want to, Rory's favored -120 at the Westgate. You want to bet on Rory. I'm not going to get angry with you if you're listening to this in time to go ahead and make that wager. I'm not going to get mad at you at all if you fade these bets because, well, we know how I am with PGA Tour golf betting. It's not been great. But the one full unit wager we made for the tournament at -165, which is Bryson DeChambeau to finish behind Brooks Koepka. Bryson's had a pretty rough first round. He started to yell at the Cobra driver manufacturer guy who called him an 8-year-old who is kind of throwing a temper tantrum, and he would never say it to the guy's face. This is not good. Bryson said the driver sucks. It's not an off-the-rack driver. It's a custom-made driver to him. So he's making excuses, and I don't know if Bryson DeChambeau makes the cut. However, Bryson, because he scrambles well to make cuts, Bryson is tied for 6th in second-round scoring. There are some people that say take a look at him as in head-to-heads here in round 2. I'm going to place a small bet, a little flyer on Sam Burns at +125. Not officially, just personally, head-to-head against Bryson DeChambeau. I'm going to take Sam Burns, who has never really played over here at the Open Championship, but he's tied for 2nd on the PGA Tour this year in second-round scoring. Bryson's really good as well. I'm just concerned about Bryson. So if you want even more going, and they tee off later in the day, I think they tee off at 6 o'clock Pacific time, maybe 9 o'clock. Eastern time, so you might be able to get Burns over Bryson if you want to trail that, or take Bryson if you want to. But the official play is for half a unit, Justin Thomas over Rory McIlroy, second round only for him to finish better than Rory. He starts the day 2 strokes back for Rory for the second round of the Open Championship. Okay, so that's bet number 1. Bet number 2, let's talk about the Houston Astros, and really let's talk about where these teams are in terms of run line productivity. The San Francisco Giants are hitting the run line at a 64% clip. It is unbelievable. The Astros are hitting it at a 51.6% clip, 47-44 to the run line. The Giants are 57-32 to the run line. Both those teams I'm eyeballing today for run line wagers. With both bullpens being healthy, I don't think we have to jump in, or at least fully rested. I don't have to jump in with first fives. I was looking at, run line first fives for both these two teams, and I just decided that, you know what, for the first day after the All-Star break, both bullpens completely rested. I don't think we need to worry. The bullpens can still blow the game and blow the run line for us, but I just don't think we need to do that. I think we can take the plus money for the run line on both these teams for the entire game. Now, the Astros are taking on the White Sox on the road. Another thing I'm going to look to do a lot is I'm going to bet the run line on the road for teams on the road. The reason is, for run line wagering, if you bet the home team may not bat. And so I've known that for a long time, but I haven't really focused on it all that much. I've said, it's not that big of a deal. They'll have a lead. They won't need to bat in the 9th inning, and that's fine. You want that at bat for the road team. They're guaranteed to bat. So if it's 3-2, the road team gets a chance to bat. They make it solo home run. It's 4-2, and you have a chance to cover on the run line. Not the case if the home team is winning up 3-2 and it goes to the bottom of the 9th inning. So I'm going to bet more run lines for road teams. So the Giants and the Astros both factor in here. The Astros on the road at the White Sox. Dylan Cease to the mound. Dylan Cease pitched against these Astros back on the 17th of June. He went 3 1/3, 4 hits, gave up 7 runs, 6 earned. The start before the All-Star break, he went 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 home run, 6 Ks. By the time of that, on the road against the Minnesota Twins, he pitched 5 1/3, gave up 6 runs, all earned, 1 home run, 8 Ks, a couple of walks. And his last start at home before the All-Star break, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 solo home runs, given up 7 Ks in a 13-3 win over the Twins. The Astros come in here with a really good record, as I mentioned, 47-44 to the run line, and they've just been crushing these White Sox. For whatever reason, the Astros, they're 26-17 on the road. The White Sox are 31-14 at home, but 10-2, 2-1, 7-3, 8-2. Those are the scores so far between these two teams. 4-0 for the Astros. So if I'm banking on the Red Sox to go on the road and beat the Yankees like I bet yesterday, it didn't count, but I'm just going to come back here and I'm going to roll with the Astros again here to keep this domination going. You can say, well, the White Sox are due and yada, yada, yada. Fine, whatever you want to do on that. But this Astros team is swinging hot bats. They had the walk-off against the Yankees right before the All-Star break. Altuve's coming around with 20 home runs. Brantley's been knocking the cover off the baseball. They've got this lineup that really comes at you, and they hit Cease pretty well. I'm taking the Astros on the run line, plus 105 for a half a unit. Houston on the road at Chicago to continue the domination of the White Sox. Astros win and win by more than 1.5 at plus 105. Giants are at the Cardinals. Kevin Gausman going against Adam Wainwright. Gausman has been phenomenal. 9-3, 1.73 ERA, a .82 whip. Wainwright's been pretty good. 7-5, 3.58 ERA, 1.15 whip for him. Gausman's given up a grand total of 8 home runs. St. Louis leads this series 2-1, however. First game, Cardinals 5-3. Second game, Cardinals 6-5. And the Giants in the last game won it 5-2. So here these teams play again. That was a series in San Francisco. This now being a series in St. Louis. Cardinals are 23-18 at home. Giants are 27-19 at home. Gausman's just been absolutely tremendous. In the start before the All-Star break against Washington at home, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 9 Ks. He has pitched against St. Louis. Last time out, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, but he did get the loss in a 5-3 loss. That game was at home. Before that, pitched against the Dodgers, 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, 5 walks in that game, season high for him with 4 Ks. But this is a guy who could use the rest, and now I think he'll come out and pitch really, really well for this lineup that has been sneaky, sneaky good this season. The Giants, I am really close to betting on the Giants to win the West. It's plus 350 for the Giants to win the West right now, and I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. They have a plus 116 run differential. They're 30-13 at home. They're 27-19 on the road. They've only given up 325 runs this year. Dodgers have given up 334 runs. Now, the Dodgers have scored more runs, but I think the Dodgers are going to have a tough second half with the Trevor Bauer story looming over their heads, the Dustin May injury, Kershaw continuing to deal with injuries later in his career during the second half of the year. Yeah, sure, they've got Walker Buehler and Arias and a bunch of really good arms, but man, they better stay healthy offensively, and they have to score a lot of runs. And the Giants and the Dodgers play a ton of baseball up against each other starting after this series with St. Louis. And I cannot wait to see what the Giants look like in this. First, they play a 4-game series on the road at L.A. after this 3-game set against St. Louis. Then they play Pittsburgh, and then they go back home to take on the Dodgers for 3. So St. Louis for 3, Dodgers for 4 on the road, Pittsburgh for 3 at home, and then the Dodgers come in for 3 in San Francisco. We're going to learn a lot, and if they play well against St. Louis, I very well may jump on the Giants to win the National League West if they're hot heading into that series against the L.A. Dodgers, because they're up by 2 games. But, man, if they get going, they win 3 out of 4 or something like that, and they can stretch that lead out and maybe get it to 3 or 4 games, then come back at home and maybe get it to 4 or 5 games. Giants offense has been sneaky, sneaky good. Giants on the run line at plus 115 up against the Cardinals. I'm really excited, and I'm really getting higher and higher on the Giants. I'm coming around on the Giants to win it all. I'm starting to feel like buying a ticket on the Giants to win the World Series is the right play, given what their pitching has done, what their hitting is looking like, and people are still kind of sleeping on them. They're not really all in. They're like, yeah, when are they going to fall apart? And it's still the Dodgers division to win, and we're not really all that high on them. And yeah, okay, all right. Adam Wainwright's not a slump. He's not a chump, okay? Last start before the All-Star break, he faced these Giants. 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs he gave up, 3 Ks, 4 walks. But I'm going to take the Giants to win this game. Heck, it could be 3-1, right? It could be a tight game, 3-1 win, 4-1 win, 4-2 win, whatever it may be. Giants on the run line at plus 115 for a half a unit on the road at the St. Louis Cardinals. Okay, so 3 plays for you guys. We've got a Justin Thomas over Rory bet, half a unit for the Open Championship. Astros run line on the road at Chicago for at plus 105, and the Giants run line at plus 115 for the official plays here for Friday. Now, here's the parlay, okay? Told you I'd give you the parlay. This is a plus 718 parlay, all right? We're going to take the Giants and the Astros on the money line, minus 165 and minus 137. We're going to come back with the Dodgers up against, let me go ahead and pull this up because it says the Dodgers on the money line at minus 184, which is obviously pretty expensive, but the Dodgers on the road at Colorado. We know about Colorado. They're a really bad baseball team. They're 40-15, 4th place in the division. Dodgers to come out and win game 1, and then the A's on the run line against Cleveland. Now, the Oakland A's on the run line, they are the 3rd best team in Major League Baseball on the run line. They're 52-40. That's 56.5% of the time they are covering on the run line. So, A's on the run line up against the Seattle Mariners for Eli Morgan against Chris Bassett. It's the last game of the night. 27-22 for Oakland. Cleveland is 21-23 on the road. Eli Morgan has a 8.44 ERA. Chris Bassett's got a 3.28 ERA, a 1.05 whip. So, minus 110 on the A's on the run line. So, Giants money line, Astros money line, Dodgers money line, A's run line, 4-team, 4-leg, plus 718 parlay for our 5-20. Don't bet a parlay, which we have. It feels like Friday was yesterday. We're right back here giving parlays out on a Friday for the Daily Juice. Those are the plays. My name is Matt Perrault. You can follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt each and every morning. It's the Daily Juice podcast right here on BettingPros.com, brought to you by BetMGM.